Welcome, everyone, to a deep look into the paranormal podcast where mystery meets insight. For those of you who don't know what Casa Loma looks like, it looks like this beautiful, picturesque beast of a building right here. It is the one and only known castle within the Americas. At least in North America, anyway. Um, Today is May 18th, 2025, and we're talking about the history and the hauntings of this wonderful place. Casa Loma was built in 1911 it took from 1911 to 1914 and was founded on the day it finished in 1914. It currently is leased to Liberty Entertainment Group, which has held the lease or held on to the lease since 2014 from the City of Toronto. Some of you might notice this wonderful place or this picture as it was featured in many movies. Some of the more well-known movies were X-Men, Scott Pilgrim vs. the World, Warehouse 13, and Titans, just to name a few. What do you think about that? Knowing that this is a movie hotspot as well.
That completely surprised me when I found out about, especially like I said, Warehouse 13, because it doesn't strike me as Warehouse 13
Yeah.
vibe. But yeah, it looks very European. I mean, yes, it's Canada, but this looks like something you'd see in, well,
England?
I was thinking Poland. Uh,
Ireland?
I was gonna say it looks nicer than what you find in Ireland.
Okay.
I've
You would know,
never.
you've been there.
Most of the Irish ones I've seen are dilapidated.
Yeah. We got history. Um,
Yeah.
the grand architect of this wonderful place is E.J. Lennox. Cover the whole property covers approximately 343,253 square feet, 7 floors, a couple of which are unfinished, and the interior is approximately 64,700 square feet in total. It took about 3.5 million to build, and of course, you know that today is a lot of money.
Hmm.
Just like double, if not triple that. The original owner, which is Sir Henry, let me get that picture up, is was a well-known influencer, financer, and a soldier who attained the title Major General of the CVO. He was he did marry, had one son with this wonderful lady, married that looks like Dodgson in 1882 until her death in 1924, which was an unfortunate and untimely passing due to heart failure. In 1927, he married this wonderful lady, Catherine Welland Merritt, in 1927 until her death in 1929. They had no children.
I'm gonna say again, I still think she looks a little bit like B. Arthur.
You think so?
Yes.
Like a younger or older B. Arthur.
No, definitely like a Golden Girls B. Arthur.
Okay. I guess I can kind of see it, not really fully, but um, his fortunes came mainly from investments in the railway and hydroelectric industries in Canada, and later through mining companies such as Cobalt Lake Mining Company and McIntyre Mines. That was until this gentleman, Sir Adam Beck, came into the picture. He thought that he was being too strict, too stringent with his his industries, especially like electricity, because it didn't go all out to the rural areas, and he felt that everyone should be benefiting it. It should be um, able to use such I don't want applications,
Utilities.
utilities. There we go. He led a populist revolt against Sir Pallet, forcing an increase of the property tax for Casa Loma from $600 to $12,000. That's a huge, substantial increase.
Yeah, it's a times 20 modifier, and in today's money, that'd be a property tax of $191,000.
Man, that's a lot. And if you're not expecting it, that's going to take a wham bam, thank you ma'am type of situation out of your pocketbook. So that leaves you struggling for all your other activities or extracurriculars in this case. And eventually it did cause Sir Henry to let go of the hydroelectricity um, to the city, and they were able to, distribute electricity to more and more people. Thereby, through Sir Adam Beck, were able to get electricity to those who needed it. So Adam was more for the people, where it made it look like Sir Henry was more for his own pocketbook. I'm not saying it was true. I'm just saying it's what kind of makes it look like.
Yeah, Mr. Pallet reminds me very much of Dale Carnegie,
You,
and
you can explain who that is?
Dale Carnegie was one of the, well, for lack of better terms, he was a baron in Pennsylvania at the time. Carnegie's the same name you'll find in the same tier as Rockefeller. These were the billionaires of the
So the elite of the elite?
18 and 1900s. Yeah.
Wow.
Carnegie himself, he owned railways, he owned mines, he owned
So
pretty
like,
much everything in Pennsylvania for a while.
so like Sir Henry Pellet.
Yes. When Carnegie got older, though, he got the old man. I'm super rich. I better leave a legacy that's not me being just super rich. And he actually invested a lot in the arts. He invested a lot into sciences and into museums. It's why you hear a lot of the Carnegie uh, name around in Pennsylvania. But the other thing he wrote, and this is one of those weird connections I didn't make earlier, he also wrote How to Make Friends and Influence People. This book is still taught to this day in
Wow.
schools and in prisons. Funny enough, one of the most famous prisoners to ever read that book is Charles Manson.
He was a heavily influencer. He would
Yeah.
like mentally mind wash people. Um, but yeah, definitely Sir Pallet does fall into that category. However, he didn't do what he did with the arts, what Carnegie did with the arts. He invested in his back into his real estate, which did poorly for him. He eventually was forced from his Casa Loma home to his farm at Mary Lake in King City. So he left it, abandoned it, refused to pay the taxes on it.
As
Okay,
an American, I can understand not wanting to pay taxes.
I understand. Um, in the late 1920s, Casa Loma was used by investors as a luxury hotel. During the Prohibition, Casa Loma became a popular night spot for the wealthy. Of course, you're going to sit here and see people go there and they have money. So, what they say is like, money talks and bullshit walks. It's evident you're going to go there, party when it's illegal to do, and you're going to get drunk. And because they had enough money to flaunt it, the people who set everything up, it was often overlooked unless it became a serious problem.
And this is in Canada,
Yeah.
and I hate to say this, but the RCP or the RMCP, I think it is, has a very jaded history
Excuse me.
of A, not wanting to do anything, and B, turning a blind eye whenever
Can you explain what that
anything
is?
they can. The RMC, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police,
Oh, okay. All right.
mountains.
Okay. In 1924, The city seized Casa Loma from for unpaid taxes. So by that point, by 1924, when his one wife passed away, he was forced out of that place, and he basically turned the keys over to the city. It was like, here you go. 1937, it was leased to Kiwanis Club of West Toronto. Later, Kiwanis Club of Casa Loma. During World War II, the stables were set up as a place to conceal, research, and produce sonar devices. So they tested, and built everything there. They listed the area as under repair, so no one would, from the outside, would think anything of workers coming and going.
As well as shipments of various things coming in. That's
Yeah.
pretty brilliant, actually. As a good cover.
hmm In 2014, the city leased the entire estate to Liberty Entertainment Group, which still holds the lease to present day. And the president and CEO, Nick Donato, I think, um,
Donato?
Donato, man that agreed to, he agreed in obtaining said lease to spend 7.4 million to continue the mansion's upgrades and renovations, even instilling putting in fine dining like the Blue Blood Steakhouse in the summer of 2017. So
The
they
steakhouse still open?
yes,
Cool.
it is still open. They're still leasing the place. They're still doing upgrades to it and renovations, trying to keep it, well maintained. They're actually doing their due diligence, and they're
That's neat.
keeping it a very popular tourist hotspot. But with every place, there's going to be. Um, Here's what it looked like when it was being built. One second. Da, da, da. There you go. Um, it has a lot of rooms per floor, and so it's going to take a lot of upkeep. Like for the main floor, we got the billiards room. Very nice, very spacious. Definitely got an old vibe. Very castle.
I missed the moose head the first time we looked at this.
You did miss the moose head, really?
I missed the moose head. Okay.
Wow. Then we got the conservatory, which I think is a beautiful thing. Let me get that up for you. It's got a water fountain right back here in the alcove. A beautiful place that's usually rented out for and leased out for wedding venues.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Then we got the dining room. Unfortunately, this is not in color, but still you can see the class to it, the elegance. Then we got the Great Hall, which is it's the one picture I keep losing.
Yeah,
There
the
we go.
Great Hall like hiding from you.
Yeah, that's definitely an impressive Great Hall.
I just realized what this reminds me of.
What?
It reminds me of the giant ballroom scene from Haunted Mansion in Disney.
Yeah, because you're coming along this hallway area almost, looking
Yeah.
down at it. Yes, yes, very much so.
Okay. I was wondering
Yes,
why
it
this looked
does.
so familiar the first time.
Yes, it does.
Okay.
And this right here was a famous movie scene in the X-Men. This
Oh,
where
the
Professor
stairwell.
yes, the stairwell area where Professor X, I think it was Scott, Logan, and Storm were talking. And next is the library, which I don't feel is quite a library, but okay. It's used for a number of things. But when I think library, I think just ceiling to floor bookshelves and like rows and rows of shelves. This is just pretty much wraps around the room, and there's your books.
I, one thing I pointed out the first time, This does look like a setting from Vampire Diaries or
Yeah.
Legacies. However, I did not realize there's 5 separate chandeliers.
Actually, there's more. You can't. There's.
Yeah, there's
There's
gotta
still.
be just in this one pic. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
no, you're right. That's just
That's a lot of
this
chandelier.
person has a thing for Did he own a chandelier company too?
No.
Okay.
Let's see here. Now the oak room. That is the piano's is a nice, beautiful placement.
Yeah,
Of course, you got your chandelier that you keep commenting on.
there's multiples.
Yep.
I didn't realize there's two. It's the first time either.
The one thing I notice that I'm actually shocked they haven't taken the time to do, but I think it's because they have so many people coming in and out, is
These are the floors.
yeah, rebuffing the floors or re-waxing it so it doesn't look so worn.
No, I 100% agree with you. I think that it could use a good like buffing.
And then we've got Peacock Alley.
Okay, what's I didn't ask this the first time, but what's causing that coloration in the ceiling? Do you know?
Um, is a different light setup and the way it refracts off and reflects off the walls.
'Cause that is so
They've
beautiful.
it is it's very pretty. Um, this hallway it was in X Men for the bedrooms, if you remember. I'm walking past these
I
when Logan
I'm
went
just
into his bedroom. I
no, I
understand.
believe just that ceiling.
I know it's gorgeous. Then of course here is. Whoops, 1 second. This is Sir Henry Pellet's study. And for how amazing and how influential this man was, to me, this is very barren.
I was also honestly wondering if that might just be because of the modern side of things.
Maybe. It
That
just, or maybe they did have more stuff in here and we're just not seeing it from this angle.
yeah, because it kind of looks museum-ish at this point.
Yeah.
So
Then, right. It's still nice. Like the molding. I love the
oh,
ceiling.
it's beautiful. Yeah,
And of course, your chandelier.
it's his chandelier.
Yes, his chandelier. Alrighty, now looking for. Nope. Nope. Hold on one moment. Give me one moment. I need the serving room. There we go. This is the serving room. To me, it just looks like another dining room. Fancy,
I,
but
mhm.
just looks like another
I
dining
think
room.
that carpet is too red.
Too red. Well, the floor is also pretty red.
I know, but it's making the entire ceiling look pink.
Then it could also be the light reflecting off the or bouncing off the gold too.
True. It's just this room seems too dark. That's my only.
I think the reason why this isn't the dining room, so to speak, but the serving room is this is the serving room is a more intimate setting for just like him, say him and his family, instead of him and hundreds of guests.
Maybe
Maybe someone can tell me if and in the comments below. That's fine.
yeah.
Um,
Please. I would love to
yeah,
know.
definitely. Then we got the smoking room. You got your pheasant here, another pheasant there, and of course your deer. Definitely, I think that's a duck there. Um, definitely got that hunter vibe. Here's another small little cannon. I'm not sure what the deal with the cannons are. I'll admit it. I don't know. And of course, with all this classic, very historic pieces, we have the one security camera. You
Yep.
know,
No, I see that
and has
now. Yeah.
Sir Henry made sure his stuff was well monitored.
Nothing but digital with IR cameras everywhere. You know how those
Yeah.
1900s are.
In all
It's
seriousness, I think it's an amazing idea. That way, no one can say they didn't touch something or break something. Um, but that was installed by
I agree.
other people, not him. That was the first floor or ground floor. Yeah, main floor. Now we got Sir Henry's suite. He has his own little telephone right there.
That's it. That's the room service.
Room service, yes. Room service. Shouldn't they just have like one of those dangly cords just pull on and it rings a bell somewhere? That's what I get the vibe for
That's for the
looking at
common
this.
nobility.
Okay. All right. Um, and then of course his white tiger skinned rug. It, I
So
mean,
that's a let's say that's a fireplace inside, right?
I'm not sure what that is. I think that is a little cabinet more so than anything. Um, I will say this: Sir Henry slept by himself. He didn't sleep with his wives. They had their own bedroom. Here is his bathroom. Again, I'm guessing that's room service or whatnot. With how
Oh, so
massive the
mostly
place
done.
is, yeah. And then with this shower system, it's like it made sure you were showered everywhere.
I mean, if you're going to show your wealth, show it in the bathroom.
Yeah. My only thing is, I'm gonna be honest. Um, I was expecting a clawfoot tub,
It might have been out of style at the time.
maybe. I was just saying what I was expecting. Here
Honestly,
is.
this so much porcelain and marble in Canada seems like it's gonna freeze your nads off.
Mm, this looks like Grandma's bedroom, but this is Lady Pallet's suite.
Was this the first lady palette or the second or both?
I believe both.
Okay.
This room will come in to uh, discussion again later. Unfortunately, I couldn't find one of her bathroom. Then there is the Girl Guides of Canada exhibit. That was actually Lady Pallet, the first one, Mary's suit or uniform.
And you said we're gonna go more over the girl guides here in a little bit,
Yeah,
right?
that is correct.
Okay. But how creepy would that be? It's like, and you shall stay here where my dead wife slept. I'm sleeping over there.
I don't know. There's plenty of bedrooms. They didn't necessarily have to. But here is the guest bedroom.
Did you show this one the first? Oh yeah, this is. Oh, I
Hmm.
recognize this one. This is the one with where the
Chandelier next to the
chandelier
bed.
feels like it's gonna catch the bed on fire.
Yes. Then we got this one. This room is a bit, I think, is a bit tacky, but it does give that fantasy vibe. This is the Windsor room. And the reason why I say it's tacky is because of how much gold was used.
It is a little over the top. That is definitely true.
They didn't need that much. Um, then we have the round room. Those look like Grandma's drapes.
Okay,
Otherwise, it
it
looks
is
very pretty.
round. It's not a circle.
You don't know what the other side looks like.
True, it looks like an oval from the shape though.
Yeah, it's all about placement and how it was taken. Of course, I'm shocked you didn't say anything about the chandelier. That's a
Well,
lot of
this room
crystal.
yeah, it's a lot of crystal. This room thankfully only has one chandelier. It's not gaudy chandelier.
That is that was the second floor. The third floor has the Queen's Own Rifle of Canada Regiment Museum, which showcases the many different individuals that influenced or were part of the regiment. along with some of their uniforms, swords, and various informational pieces.
I'm going to tell everyone the first time through, I was exceptionally disappointed by this because I thought it was a museum of firearms. I didn't realize it was a group of people, and I was looking for all the different weapons.
That's
And
the
I realized that's
redneck in them.
exceptionally USA of me.
Very
So,
redneck of them.
yeah.
Yes. All right. Our next setup is the Two Intelligent Company and X Museum, where it features the various different units, their uniforms, um, officers' garbs, as well as some of their weaponry or the different things they would keep on them. And it will tell you individually what each part or a piece represented, along with a history. And there's your gun, David.
Hey, one gun.
Next is Stairs to Towers. These are extremely steep and very narrow.
Every time I've been on a set of stairs like that, I feel like I'm just going to take one step up, smack my head, take another step up, smack my head again.
No. Alrighty, next is. I don't have a picture for the Kiwanis room, the garden room, because I couldn't find one. But here's a servant's room. And literally, they have no privacy. It looks nice. I think it looks like pretty nice room, you know? But the reason why I say there's no real privacy is this banister right here that you can barely see is a
Mm-hmm.
stairway going up and down.
Like I said, this is a landing.
Yeah,
You
that
don't
they
got to
made
really look up
use
the
of.
landing.
Yeah, that they landing that they made use of. Then of course the Austin room. I think it was used as more of a gathering area for distinguished guests, ballroom, what have you, or dance hall.
Every town has that one, like the VFC or something like that, where it's just
It
they have a
does
dance
have that
floor
vibe.
and they have like this is where we're gonna do bingo. We got to pull out the fancy tables right now because it's a school dance,
Yeah. And in the basement is the gift shop. The bowling lanes and shooting range were never completed.
which I am mildly offended by. This would be a total draw for someone from the states.
I would love to visit here and get some things. Um, then we have the Castle Cafe, which has an outdoor terrace area, which has a beautiful view of an outside garden, a little bit of the cityscape in the background.
I said that does not look like it's America. That looks like Poland, France. It looks like the countryside is beautiful.
Yes.
It just doesn't look American.
Okay, now here's where my computer decided to tank and do an update instead of do what I wanted to. Here's the unfinished pool.
And this is where you get the horror movie sets from.
It probably was used in horror movies. I don't know. I can tell that there's giant cracks in the foundation of this pool.
That would definitely be a problem.
You can definitely see that they do need to shore it up a bit more, where all the cracks are, and fix it up.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
This
they
certainly looks like
may,
Casino Royale where they tortured James Bond.
they may very well use it for something later on. I don't know. Um, Here is a beautiful, beautiful setup for the wine cellar.
Oh wow!
Yeah,
Why is this room brighter than the dining room?
I don't know. I think so you can read the labels, maybe.
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
Okay, now here's a spooky one. Another spooky one. The tunnel from the hunting lodge to the hunting lodge and stables.
Wait, there's a tunnel too?
Yes.
It's why I don't. It's amazing, creepy, and I love it, but I don't know why they needed it.
There's a way to get from one point to the other point without having to go outside.
All right, Canada, snow.
Yeah. Then
Still,
we
that's
then we have the garage. That's the carriage room over there. But this is the garage. It gives me that old firehouse
old,
vibe.
yeah, old firehouse. I was thinking like from that pic, from the walkway to that, it's like looks like a subway system.
Yeah, because of the subway tiling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love the old cars in the picture, by the way.
This is the potting shed where they, tend to plants, get things start growing before they moved it out to the garden.
Uh huh.
This is the carriage room, the other side, because we were there in there first.
Are they? Was that just a bunch of candles?
Yes, but I think they're the candles that come with double A's or the little circular ones. Here are the
Okay,
standing stables and box stalls for where his prestigious horses and were all kept.
that's been right there's been in a ton of movies.
Yes, it has. I couldn't
Those
find one
looks like
of.
animals.
I can't find the tack room picture or a good picture of the hunting lodge, unfortunately. But that's okay. And on the exterior were just the gardens and the parking lot. Now let's get back into we took a great little trip down memory lane, did the history, just a brief touch up on the history, who had their hands in the cookie jar, so to speak, of this place. But let's talk about the Lady in White. Um, a number of people speculate that it was um, a maid wandering the halls and by Lady Pallet's bedroom. But then a lot of people speculate that it was Mary herself wandering the halls. And people say that, oh, that she lost her daughter and that she's like, oh, a very angry spirit. No. This entity in Casa Loma is not an angry spirit. She's just lost and wandering the halls in her bedroom. And the reason why I say that it is Mary is, think about it. She died of a heart attack suddenly.
She might not know she's dead.
So she's a residual just going through the motions over and over and over again. But a little bit more about Mary Pellet, or Lady Pellet. She was known for her being the first chief commissioner of the Dominion of Canada Girl Guides, and she was knighted so as on July 21st, 1912. And the reason why I'm bringing back that information up is because this. Remember us talking about the Girl Guides of Canada?
Oh yeah, you said that that's the outfit she actually wore.
Yes. It later became the Girl Scouts of Canada.
That is pretty cool.
So every Girl Scout actually stems from the history surrounding Lady Pellet. And I was actually a Girl Scout for a while. Until I got angry and was passed up for to be. I'm like, that's not a Girl Scout attitude, so I stopped being one. I was very hot headed when I was younger. Still kind of a hothead now, but not as bad as I was. Shut up.
I didn't say a thing.
You're thinking it.
That doesn't
Um,
count.
we're not even in the same room, and I could just tell by the silence.
It's-
Um, let's see here. But she is seen wandering the halls. She's not very vengeful. In the time that she's actually seen is usually around closing when people are tidying up and cleaning. Um, Henry himself is also seen wandering the second floor a lot. He was even seen by a boy on the outside looking up and saw him through the window when she asked the guide, or when he asked the guide about the man on the second floor. The guide actually panicked, and because the second floor was off limits, because it wasn't, it was in the process of being, renovated, fixed up, and what have you. And when he described the gentleman he saw, she showed him a picture of Sir Henry Pellet, and he said, "Yeah, that's who I saw." And that's coming from a 9-year-old.
That's interesting.
Mm-hmm. Um, there's often reports of footsteps coming and going, but no one there. Doors opening of their own accord. Um, Disembodied voices, especially in the tunnel system. Unexplained noises, as well as the sensation of someone walking past and even reaching out to touch you. Um, Guests have reported numerous accounts of apparitions, which are full body apparitions, but unfortunately could not give distinct descriptions, which was unfortunate outside of the Lady in White. Um, let's see. Though there is one notable ghost who is mischievous, but also very cranky. He is located within the tunnel system. Um, he apparently in life was rumored to be real good friends with Sir Henry Powlett, and he goes by the name Mr. Happy. He like
Mr. Happy.
Yeah, and he's a grumpy ghost. He likes to grab and touch people as well as pull hair. Maybe he is angry at the fact that people are being intrusive and being in a place they're not supposed to be. That might be the reason why he's trying to get you to go away. Because
Okay.
he was believed to be um, the one of the top caretakers of his you know prized horses, of Sir Henry's prized horses. And if you're getting too close to stuff and you're not supposed to be where you're not supposed to be, yeah, someone's gonna try and tell you to get out or try to, you know, run you off. And maybe that's what he's doing, even after this to this day, trying to keep you guys away, or anyone who goes there.
Okay. Let's just caretakers. I've seen come up in a lot of different ways when it comes to the hauntings.
Mm-hmm. Well,
And
they put
I was
their.
honestly wondering because of what you told me about this place.
Mm-hmm.
The lady in white. That's also an apparition that's seen in countless different places too.
Yeah, but
So I was wondering if there's
each
more.
each place has its own recorded history with the Lady in White. It doesn't mean it's that specific Lady in White. That Lady in White could be something different compared to this one. Each
No,
has
no,
its own
I
story.
agree.
Yeah.
I was just thinking. I've never heard of like the grumpy groundskeeper ghost as Mr. Happy.
Hey, this is what I'm. My research led to me.
I know. It's like it seems so Canadian, so polite. So guys, that's his Mr. Happy. What's he doing?
Well, at
Currently
least it's
trying to slap you.
well, it's better than calling him an well. Excuse my language, but an asshole. It's better than calling him the asshole down the tunnel.
Well, that's what I was thinking.
At least he's
Canadians,
not
they're happy. The British would have called him a curmudgeon.
a crotchety old man.
Yeah.
But still, he may have been an extremely happy individual in his lifetime, so they called him Mr. Happy. We don't know. We can look into it further down the road if you want to.
No, we can.
Mm-hmm.
Because I
Um,
have something percolating in my head that I want to talk for a different episode.
we're definitely possibility of revisiting this to not so much to finer tune it, but to look into the stories, maybe more so on the ladies or the organizations, the different military aspects of it. Who knows? Because it's definitely got some interesting points I wouldn't mind delving a little further into. I just want to touch up on some of the key points for this episode.
Okay,
But
so we're doing high end, but we may come back later. Okay.
yes, we may come back later. I do know that the next couple of the next two episodes are going to be the very next one's going to be about Bobby Mackey's, and that place is notoriously haunted. Um, and it's even talk of various possibly demonic activity there. We also have after that we're gonna since we talk so much on the land-based cryptids, we're gonna take a turn to the water-based cryptids like sea creatures and what have you. And then on I believe the very end of June, we are going to do basically a recap of all the 12 previous episodes and wrap up season 1 for our podcast. And then we will pick up again at the probably at the end of July or early August for to start season 2. So
Hmm.
yay, that'll be fun. Hopefully you all liked it. Did you have find it informative?
I did. Like I said, we do a lot of places here that has tourism associated with it,
Mm-hmm. This
and
place is one of them.
sometimes true, but this one's the haunting's not the tourism. That's
No,
what I like about
this
it.
yeah, this place is definitely got a lot more history, but it's not actually known to be very haunted. It's only got a little bit here and there of kind of spooky occurrences.
Exactly. It's still very much a live, active place where people
Hmm.
are going every day,
And if you
but
think
you
about
still
it,
have the chance of that.
yes. And if you think about it, every time if you say go to any haunted location, pretty much everywhere's haunted. It just we just don't know it. Um, you take a piece of that energy with you and probably deposit it somewhere else, and therefore, going and so on and so forth. So, who knows? You know,
Well, I
there's
understand.
your energy. You could leave a piece of yourself there, and you didn't even know
No, this was a nice change to our normal pace of things. I like this episode.
it. Yeah. And if you're watching on Twitch, feel free to join us in chat at any time. Or if you want to lurk, that's fine too. But just make sure you hit the follow button. Remember, next episode will not be until, again, my face, June 1st, where we talk about Bobby Mackey's. And if you're watching this on YouTube, let us know what you think in the comments below. What haunted location you might want us to go over, or what cryptid you want us to go over next, or what have you. Definitely leave it in the comments. Let us know. Hit the like button if you like, dislike if you dislike, and don't forget to subscribe. Until next time, this is your hosts, Jennifer and David Wills, with a deep look into the paranormal podcast. Isn't that amazing?
Yep, and have fun and be safe out there, everybody.
Bye bye.
Bye.